Hello everyone, it's Pat with our Oracle card reading and message for the beginning of our weekend, Friday the 27th of March 2015. So for today's reading, I was feeling drawn to the goddesses, so I'm going to be calling on or using the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses card deck by Tony Carmine Salerno, and also Doreen Virtue's Goddess Guidance Oracle card deck. So let's see what the messages are for this Friday going into our weekend. March is coming to a close. It's hard to believe, but the first trimester of the year is over. So let's see what's going on, and as we move into the energies of spring. At least I know it is spring for us up here in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay. All right, interesting, some cards that have fallen out here. And I feel like this one wants to come too. Okay. So one of the ones I felt wanted to come out, my hand was on it and it felt right, was this one, Angel of Relaxation. It says, let go of desired outcomes and you will get what you want. So going into the weekend, this is a reminder to relax. Just relax. If you've been working hard on something all week, working hard on a project, or maybe you're looking for your next home and you're real concerned about that, it's time to just let it go and walk away from it for a while. All right? As she says in the card, it says, let go of the desired outcomes and you will get what you want. Now, there's nothing wrong with being focused. I know a lot of coaches teach us to be focused and, keep your eyes on your intention and your desired outcome, and that's all good. Visualize it, definitely. But there does reach a point sometimes where we become too preoccupied with it, and it gets to a point of struggle, which comes from a fear that we won't get what we want, okay, or that our desired outcome won't happen. So this card is a reminder to relax, let go, forget about it, walk away from it for a while. If you're trying to negotiate a deal with something, be willing to walk away from the deal if it isn't, what's right for you, and relax. Okay, so that's what this message has to do with, I feel. So, and it's Friday. Give yourself, if you've had a long, hard week, maybe if it even hasn't been a hard week, maybe it's just been a long one. It's just time to relax. Enjoy the company of good friends, go out to eat, or take a walk outside in nature. Do something that's relaxing and enjoyable, okay? The other two cards that we have that spilled out, first, the one I saw was this Goddess of Sacred Power, and the message on it says, you are being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. So as you relax, I think what'll come to your awareness as you relax, okay, because that's what happens when we relax. When we let go, and relax for a while or walk away from something, we tend to get more ideas about it or new inspirations. It allows room for new inspirations to come in. So it also may be that maybe at your work today or what have you, you need to take the lead on something. If there's something that needs to be figured out, researched, or followed through on, this card is letting you know that it's time for you to, pull it up by the bootstraps, take the reins, or just step into a place of taking the lead on it. Being the person who finds out the information or, kind of directs people as to what would be the best thing to do. So, it's suggesting that in some situation, you may need to step forward and be the one who, directs the ship, or, directs where things are going, okay? So that's what that card is about. The one that came out along with it is this Goddess of Strength. And she says, stand up for what you believe in. You will gain respect by holding your ground, okay? And this is tied in with this taking the lead, on something, okay? It may be that you just have to stand firm on something because your intuition maybe is screaming to you, or screaming very loudly that either something isn't right or something needs to go in a certain direction, or that, there needs to be a different approach that's taken to something that's going on in your life. Could be personal or professional, okay? So this card is, I feel like it's more of a confirmation for you, or it may be more of a confirmation for you that, you know, what you're doing, you know, standing your ground on a particular issue is, you know, important right now. And ultimately, you'll gain respect from it as things evolve and as other things, you know, take place. You'll, you know, you'll have gained a lot more respect by staying true to yourself, by staying true to what you know and what you feel is right. Okay, so these are like a kind of a confirmation message about that way. And you know, it's interesting that it's, you know, the goddess on this, because there's a lot of feminine strength, or a lot of strength in our feminine power. Okay, and it's urging you to call upon that strength now, and not allow I want to say, you know, I'm not quite sure what I want to say. I was called to the fact that that it's the feminine power in this, okay, feminine strength, because ours is sometimes more of a quieter kind of strength. It's more, you know, it asserts itself and becomes willing to stand firm, but it's not aggressive. It's not there to belittle somebody or make them feel wrong for their choices. It's just more of a quietly assertive type of power, and I know that more of the message will come to me with that. All right, so let's see the goddess guidance cards. Which goddess is working with us here as we go into this Friday? Ooh, okay. So one of the ones that flipped around here was Coventina with Purification. It's a time for cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. Okay, so you know, I think this is speaking to a lot of us who are looking into our dietary concerns, and it's a confirmation again for some of you out there that, yeah, it's time. I feel like this is going out to some people maybe considering like those spring detoxes, you know, maybe juicing as a kind of cleanse, you know, something along those lines where you're thinking about, you know, it's time to just eliminate some foods, do a spring cleanse for your body, and to detoxify. You know, maybe to help you lose a little weight, but also to improve your immunity and your energy. So this is a, you know, if you've been thinking about doing that, this is a, yeah, it's definitely time to do that. Coventina is a goddess of the waters, so there's often, you know, water rituals. And I know here in our springtime, there's a lot of, we're getting a lot of rain, which is kind of washing away, finally, thank God, all the snow. But it's time for, in general, for a clearing out. But it also includes, you know, being mindful of what's going through your head and your own self-talk, maybe the judgments that are there. It's time to clean all of that stuff out too, because that can be just as toxic as, you know, some of the things that we put into our bodies sometimes. And you know, what you feed your body through your mind and your heart is what makes the important difference. And so, yep, if you're considering going on a new program, you know, that's more eating more cleanly and letting go of maybe a lot of excessive alcohol or sugar or addictive substances, things like that, it is definitely, this is definitely a confirmation that it's time to move forward on that. Okay? Or even just, you know, I know for myself what I'm doing right now is I'm eliminating foods that I'm just very sensitive to. You know, the gluten. For me, it's dairy also. And it's making a big difference in how I feel in my body. So that's part of my detox. Anyways, those are our messages for Friday. That's a lot of cards. I hope you have a lovely Friday, and I look forward to being back on the weekend for another lovely message. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.